evaluate them and put the qualification. I don't know. At the end, we are gonna be affected.
At the end, you're going to be what? Affected. Okay. And what do you think they should be doing?
I don't know. The problem is that now is really big.
Right. Okay, because discipline, maybe?
No. No. The tools.
Or the tools? Okay. What do you think is the biggest issue? Is it the tools or is it the hold on. Let me move Mariela's chair just one second. Yeah. She's not here, she won't know.
I'm here.
You want me to send a beanbag to you with your brother as well?
What?
You want me to send the beanbag to you with you?
Yay!
So you can have it at home and have class in the beanbag, but only class.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just send this to Ivana. Huh. Can you see me if I do that? Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that this is transmitting. Wow, it's taking a while. Oh, I guess it is. Okay. All right. Good. Oh. Okay. So Mariela's gone? No. Oh, there she is. Okay, good. Okay. So what let's think about, let's brainstorm and let's think about what would be a good option for them to do. What do you think should be done? Let's see.
With the class.
Yeah.
No, there is an brain situation. If we are not prepared to something like
Right. Okay. But okay. Now. So Mariela's gone now. So jeez, that's annoying. That noise. Okay. Good. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. What? Let's think. Come on. Let's brainstorm it. Okay. That's gone. Okay. It's gone now. Okay. So, okay, so like Mariela says, the student's going to have a lot of excuses because they always do, right? They always have excuses, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for you. How are you going to evaluate that now? Like you were saying.
Well, in my case, I use a platform. I use a model with a complete level.
Okay.
But I have another level that I know that they give them computers, and a lot of students don't have cell phones. I didn't use a laptop.
Okay.
So I use that case, call them for WhatsApp, and then put their homeworks, and they can send me the homeworks for email, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Facebook. I can make a live video.
Right. Right. But does it allow you, because the thing with live with Facebook or Instagram is that if they have a question, they would have to write it in the chat. So you'd have to be teaching and looking at the chat, right? Okay. Yeah, it is going to be a challenge and to evaluate the students for this entire month. What if they say, let's think about this. What if they say, when does school finish?
On May 20,
May 28th. That's the end. That's the last day of school. So basically, when you come back, you only have 1 month of school left, if everything's okay, right? What if they say, well, let's have these 30 days, but school ends in June rather than May? Right? So you have a whole month, we don't have activities. So you forget about teaching online, forget about going to school, forget all of that. But then in June, you finish school on the 22nd of June rather than 22nd of May. So you extend the school year, extend it for, would that work maybe?
I don't have any problem because when you in that year, it grew.
You don't have any, sorry, that got cut off. Can you repeat that, Mariela?
And we don't have problem with because we have to work on June, complete June.
Okay.
And you don't do anything.
Okay. So that could be an option.
Yeah.
To do, yeah. Because if it's going to be that difficult, and it would have, the thing is, we don't know how bad the situation is, right? And you can say grave, just like that, just like in Spanish. You don't know how grave the situation is, because we still haven't heard or don't have a real, we don't have real, apparently, or trustworthy information. So that would be trustworthy. That means that it's valuable. Trustworthy information means information that you can trust, information that you can really rely on. Because, for example, well, maybe because President Medina said, oh, we'll talk Tuesday night at 8. So there's been no information. Did you see the president of the Colegio de Médicos? Did you see that?
Yes, I think.
That was today. That was today around noon. They say that there are not enough test kits, that there are not enough staff because they need epidemiologists and there aren't enough. And we really don't know how many cases. Also, those cruise ships, cruises, they allowed 3 ships to get off, disembark in, I think, La Romana, and they just let everybody go with no one was checked, no one was anything. So, and we didn't close the airports until last week, so we really don't know how many people are or could be infected, right? Okay, so, okay, that's good. All right, now we take you back to the book,
My book.
to your book. Okay, there was an exercise that we did not do. Oh, okay. There was an exercise we didn't do. That is that exercise there. Okay. So, we're going to talk about, remember we were talking about favorite foods, right? We'll have to do this the other way around. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to need you to give me complete answers. Alright? I hope I'm not blocking the camera. Let me see this here. Maybe that's a little bit better. Okay? Now the exercise says you're going to tell me what your favorite food is, and we know.
Which page?
Page 13. So, okay. Right. So, Mariela, favorite food besides pizza? Pasta. Okay. Why?
Because it's delicious.
Delicious. What kind of pasta?
Bacon.
Penne. Okay. With what sauce?
Carbonara.
Carbonara. Okay. Now. Good. Now, if we wanted to use another word for delicious, what would it be?
Another.
Yeah, synonym.
Amazing.
Amazing. That's why not? Yeah, of course. Amazing. What else could it be? Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Anything else? Where and how often can you eat, or would you like to eat pasta?
Weekly.
Weekly. So we could say once a week or twice a week. All right? After, would you say once or twice? After that, you say 3 or 4. You don't say thrice or fourth, right? So 3 or 4 or how many ever times a week, right? All right. Veronica.
Present.
Okay. Favorite food?
Well, I don't know. Everything.
Yeah.
I like everything.
Okay.
Not everything.
Okay.
I prefer wings,
Wings.
ribs,
Okay.
barbecue food. I don't know.
Okay. Let's go with barbecue ribs and wings, right?
Yeah.
And wings. Okay. Oops. Why?
I don't know because I like the food that is barbecue.
Okay. So you like barbecue. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. I hope not. Okay, you like barbecue flavor, like my wife. She likes barbecue as well. Okay. How often can you eat this?
Yes, I eat not every day, but in 3 times a week I eat wings
Okay.
and the ribs. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll say once a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. So the idea here is, for example, to look for, like we were talking about, chunks of information, right? We want to look for ways to memorize certain words, certain adjectives that we can memorize through using chunks of set phrases. So, for example, you could say, if I wanted to teach you the word spectacular, is that the word we talked about the other day? Did we talk about that word or not?
No.
Okay. Or even the word amazing. Okay. Okay. With that, if we associate these words to a phrase, it's going to be a lot better for us to memorize them. Okay. So, for example, can you think of a movie that you like that you can be described as spectacular?
Avengers Endgame.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. What could you say about that movie that includes the word spectacular? Besides the movie itself, what is it?
I don't know.
So you can.
Avengers Endgame has
Good.
spectacular actors.
Okay. Actors. Okay. Or spectacular special effects. Okay. Or spectacular music. Or whatever. Okay. So the idea is that you use this word as much as possible, and all you have to do is change whatever noun you want to use it in. Okay. Okay. What about, let's do an example with, let's say, amazing. Veronica, something that you consider to be amazing. Me?
Okay.
Right? You. Okay. That's good. Oh.
Eat.
To eat. Okay. Oh, to eat. Okay. Okay. Let's use that in a phrase. Use that in a phrase. Use amazing and eat in the same phrase. What would you say? What would you say? You would like use this in a sentence. What's that?
What?
Okay, but what about I like what?
I like to cook.
Okay, I like to cook.
Because I use amazing food. I don't know.
Okay, I like to cook amazing food. Is that it? Okay. Can you think of another word other than amazing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, good, excellent. Okay, so all you have to do is just think of the adjective, if you will, the descriptive word, and all you have to do is change the food after it. Okay? Okay. What about, let's see. What do you like to watch? Do you like to watch YouTube videos? Watch YouTube videos. Videos on YouTube. No?
No, I don't.
What do you watch usually? Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you watch on Netflix? What you like the most?
Serious?
Series. In English?
Yes.
And you watch them. Ha 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 ha. I just found somebody in this class that is not Mariela that cheats and watches the series in Spanish. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I know. She revealed herself. Okay, what do you like to watch on Netflix?
I'm so basic. I don't like action.
Mm-hmm.
This like normal. Something that don't stress me more.
Right, okay. So what do you like to watch?
I don't know the kind of series that I like.
Okay. So give me a name. Give me a name of something you watch. Do you like do you like to be comedy or romantic or what?
Romantic, comedy, like Friends. I like Friends.
Okay.
I aim with an E.
Okay.
I like. I always forget one scene. Sabina, so Sabina.
Okay.
Riverdale. But no anymore. What? I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, Veronica, what do you like to watch?
Oh. Shadowhunter. Stranger Things.
Okay. So you do like mystery, horror?
Yeah, I like it.
Because I agree with Mariela. I like, for example, when I go to the movies, I don't like to watch anything that's going to stress me or make me sad. So a movie about like a war or things like that, they don't interest me. Okay. Okay. Good. Now, what about okay, so we could say I like to watch. Okay, remember that watch is voluntarily, right? To watch on Netflix. Okay. I know you said you don't, but you could say I like to watch on whatever YouTube, Vimeo, whatever, right? Now, you can always add something descriptive to that. So what would be descriptive in this case? You could say, well, I like to watch horror movies or comedies, okay? Now, the reason being that some of these words go together, right? They're like compound nouns. So they're, for example, horror movies, okay? That genre, that type of movie is called horror movies. But when they're funny, they're not called funny movies, they're called comedies, right? Or you can say romantic movies, okay? What else would it be? War movies. Action movies, okay? So all of these things, very good. All of those things, all of these go with movie, except for comedy. Or you can also talk about, what is it? Documentaries. That goes by itself. So let's do this. What's that? Thrillers, okay, that goes by itself. So you could say documentaries, very good. Documentary, comedy, thriller, okay. You can talk about science fiction, right? And so on. But these, you should always complement the type of movie with the word movie. Okay? Okay. So, or you're going to say, for example, series. It could be movies, it could be series. Okay? You can also have war documentaries, for example. That's also a type of movie. Okay? I'm going to send you some exercises because I want you to start. We need to start focusing on the difference between 2 and 4. Okay, because this is one of the areas that causes most amount of confusion. Right? When you use 2, that's not your dog, is it, Mariela? No. Never. Never. Okay. Okay, let me just look for the Okay. I'm looking at the drive-through here. I have a real big headache. Give me 1 sec. I'm accessing the drive here. Oh, that's Mariela. Right. So I'm going to explain to you the difference, or start explaining to you in the next classes, the difference between 2 and 4. And I said the next classes because that's one of the most difficult things to teach you in English, okay? So, for example, 4, can you see that? No. No? Let me write in black then. So 4, Where's my black marker? Okay, there you go. Means that, for example, in the sentence, my father brought lunch for me, in this case, okay? And I use this sentence because you can use to or for, but I'm going to explain to you the difference between the two, okay? So, in this case, the for means a reason why, okay? Or for means that I, in this case, is the reason why. So that he brought the lunch to me, right? So he brought the lunch for me. It means that the lunch, the purpose of the lunch, right, is that it is for me. Okay, it's the purpose of the lunch, right? So that means that I, right, which is represented here by my and me, I am the reason why he brought lunch. Okay? You can also say, my father brought, brought lunch to me. Okay? In this case, this doesn't really explain the reason why he brought it, in a way. Okay? This is really hard to explain and really hard to understand. But it's one of those areas that is really, really important that you know the difference. Okay? So, in this case, it just basically, this explains the action. Okay? So, you could say that to explains the action in the sentence. Right? For explains the purpose. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll explain it again. Yeah. My father brought lunch for me, right? You can also say my father brought lunch to me, right? In the first case, when you talk about for me, it is explaining, the for explains the action or explains the purpose, right? Explains the purpose. Why? Because it's for me, okay? It's explaining the purpose of the sentence. When you say to, you're explaining the action of the sentence. In this case, okay? Yes, they both mean pretty much the same thing, because at the end of the day, he brought lunch. You could say my father brought lunch. That doesn't say much. He just brought lunch. He could say, for example, he brought lunch for everybody. My father brought lunch for himself. My father brought lunch for my colleague. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain purpose, and it doesn't explain the action. It just says he brought it. It's a simple. So if you say, my father brought lunch, then it doesn't really say much. Okay? It doesn't really explain or justify anything. If you say, my father brought lunch for me, that explains the purpose of bringing the lunch. What was the reason why he brought the lunch? Okay? If he's... What's that? Exactly. Exactly. Very good. My father brought lunch to me, then explains the action of bringing the lunch. Okay? Let me give it to you maybe in an easier example I have here. For example, let's say I will go for my brother. Okay? I'll explain this in a second. I will go to my brother. Okay? In this case, the for, when you say I will go for my brother, means, for example, my brother was invited to a meeting, whatever, okay? But he cannot go. So I am going to go for my brother. Means I'm replacing my brother. Okay? I'm going for him. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't explain where. It's just explaining what. Okay? That you're going for. So in this case, go for, in this case, is to replace. In a way. Okay? If I say I will go to my brother, that way, it's just saying that you're physically going to go. For example, like I said, I'm going to take the book to your brother. Okay? I haven't explained where in that sentence. I explained it before. But in that sentence, if I just say, Mariela, don't worry, I'm going to take the book to your brother. I haven't said where. I'm just saying why I'm doing something, okay, or what I'm doing in this case, okay. So, right. So I will go. We can even change this because it doesn't change the meaning. I'm going to go to your brother, okay. I'm not saying why. I'm not saying where. I'm just explaining what, okay. So this means that I will physically displace myself from one place to another in order to meet your brother or join your brother or give something to your brother. Okay? So that is pretty simply a way to distinguish or to make a differentiation of the use of to and for. Okay? If you say, for example, so that has a pretty straightforward meaning. I go to school, okay? It's always going to be to. Why? Because you're going from one place, Mariela's gone, to another place. Okay? You're going to school, okay? You can say, I go for pizza, Mariela especially, okay? You say you're going for this. The purpose is that. See, there's no purpose in to. There is a purpose in for. Okay? If I say, oh, I'm going for pizza, which is a very common expression, it means that you're going somewhere to get pizza. It doesn't say if you're bringing back pizza, if you're going to go to the pizza place and eat it and stay there and then go somewhere else. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't even explain where you're going, but it explains the action. So this to and for, it really goes with the verb, with the action word, okay? Same here, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to go to school. What are you going to do? You're going to go for pizza. I'll give you another example. . You can also.
We cannot, when we know we are making a mistake using for or to, just in the context.
In the context, it depends on, it really is a matter of practice, but at the end, if there is a purpose for something, if there's a reason for something, it's for. Okay? If it's just to explain an action, it's to. Right? So you can say, I go to Paris. Okay, here we go. I go to Paris. Okay? Simple. Okay, simple sentence. Doesn't make much sense, but you're saying go to Paris. Why are you going to Paris? It doesn't say why. It only says where and what you do. So this explains the go. But if you say I go, because you can use to and for in the same sentence. I go to Paris for the food, then you're explaining why you're going to Paris. It's giving you a reason why you're going to Paris. Or I go, for example, all my clothes, when I buy clothes, I buy all my clothes in Paris. Okay? Now, I'm serious. I go to Paris to buy all my clothes. Paris con Duarte. That's where I eat. Come on. You're going to catch on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, you're saying, in this case, you're explaining, the for explains why you're doing something. Okay? You can even say, I go for the food. This explains the reason why you go. So the way you can, to answer your question, Mariela, is if you're giving, it really comes down to practice. Because again, remember, you're not going to consciously be thinking of the grammatical reason how you use it. Okay? But there are many other exercises to make a differentiation between to and for. Let me see if I can find another example. I have a real massive headache. My head hurts a lot.
Did you take a pill?
Yes, before class.
You have to rest.
Huh?
You have to rest.
Yeah, I have a big headache. I might even stop the class in about 20 minutes because my head really hurts. It's been hurting all afternoon.
Take care.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. Hold on just 1 second. I'm looking for the example I have in the drive.
Veronica, you're always eat. Give me. You want it? Yeah, only.
Okay.
Another one.
Okay. Wow, that's a massive headache.
I vote.
Okay. So for 2, you're going to use for destinations. Like I said, I'm going to school, to class, to Paris. Okay? You can also tell time with 2. For example, it's a quarter or 15 minutes to 4, meaning 3:45, right? A quarter to 4. Okay? I use 2 here. You can tell distance. For example, it's a 10-minute walk to my house. Okay? And all of these you're explaining, again, purpose. Okay?
Destination, time, and
Distance, yes. You can use it to compare. So you can say, Veronica prefers barbecue to what? Barbecue, no, we'll say ribs to fish.
yes.
Okay? So again, 2. Because you're comparing 2 things. Okay? And to give something, meaning I will give the book to your brother. Right? Okay, also, again, you can provide a reason. Like, I came to see you. To see. You're justifying something. Because you can say, I came, and that's it. Okay? Let's say you say, I came. Okay, I came, and what? Well, I came to see you. So you're giving a reason why you did something. Okay? I smoke. Okay. Why? Oh, I smoke to relax. You're giving a reason. Okay? Got it? So I'll give you a couple of minutes so you can write that down. Let me know when you finish. Can you see that? Can you see that?
I see, but I don't think. Just write
Right, what?
bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Here's bigger. How's that? Is that okay? You finished? Are you writing still?
We wrote
Let me know when you finish. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the ones for 4, examples for 4. But keep in mind that in some cases you can use both or you can use them interchangeably. And this is where it gets tricky. Okay? So for 4, you can use them for what you could say is benefits. For example, drinking water is good for you. Drinking water is good for you. Period of time. She's been a doctor for 2 years. 4. So these examples are clear distinctions between 2 and 4. You cannot say she's been a doctor 4 years. That doesn't make sense. Right? You can say for an appointment. Or we could say, Joe has to go, has an appointment for Tuesday at 4. 4. Agree with. I am for means in favor of free education. Okay? That means I am pro that. That is something I favor. Okay? Helping or doing something. She is saving this for me. She's saving it for me. So it's a favor or you're helping with something. Okay? We also have a reason with for. This is why you can say interchangeably. But in this case, you would have to add a noun. So I could give you the example, let's go for beer. Okay? You're giving a reason. Let's go for a beer. You're explaining what you're going to get. Is that Corona? Is that what you want, Ariela? Oh, shit, my head. Okay? you could use it for a function, but you must add ing. For example, the backpack is for carrying, this is where you use the ing, your books. Okay? The phone is for making phone calls. The computer is for doing your homework, and so on. Wow. God damn motherfucking headache. Let me know when you finish, and if you have any questions. Yeah? Okay. Do you have any questions? No? Can you give me, Mariela, one with two, and a sentence with two, and a sentence with four, please? Anyone?
Let me think. I will bring to you my phone.
Okay. Or I will form to you. That's well, you can use that with for too, by the way. You can say, I will bring the form for you. Reason. I am bringing the form to you means I am giving the action to bring you. Form for you, meaning that you don't, that's okay, I'll do it for you. So you're doing it for someone. Okay? If you do it to you, then the action is done towards you. Okay? Again, like I always say with all the classes, this is something that you have to practice, and it takes time. Don't memorize this, just practice it. Okay? Because you're not going to remember this right now. And this is one of those things that you really need to work on, because it's a very, very common mistake, because in Spanish you don't have that distinction. And it's easier for us to make that distinction. Okay? Can you give me two more, Mariela? 2 and 4? Think of something. Oh, Jesus.
What is good to you? No. Let me think.
All right?
I'm thinking.
That's okay. Take your time.
Let me think another one.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica is in quarantine. Like that.
Quarantine. Uh-huh.
for 5 days.
Very good. Very good. Because if you say she's in quarantine, you're not explaining why or how long. You're not explaining anything. She's just in quarantine. But if you say 4, then you're giving a reason. You're giving a purpose. You're doing, oh, she's in quarantine 4 or 5 days. Okay, then you can explain why. Okay, how about one with 2? She's going to go crazy in 5 days? Okay, just one example with 2. Pick anything.
I can't go to Italy.
Okay. Okay. And again, you're not saying why. You're not saying when. You're just saying there's no explanation to that. I can't go to Italy. If you want to be more specific, you can say I can't go to Italy this month. I can't go to Italy tomorrow. I can't go to Italy whatever. Okay?
Or I can't go to Italy because I don't want to get coronavirus.
For example. Exactly. Or you could say, I can't go to Italy with my dog, whatever, or with my whatever. Okay, but if you use 4, you're explaining the why. You're giving it purpose. Otherwise, you're just saying a simple sentence. Okay. Do you have any questions? Ladies, any questions?
No.
All right. Okay, is it okay that we cut the class short today, just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I really have a strong headache, and I need to go lie down or something. It's really bothering me, so it's making it difficult for me to focus. Okay, try to work, since you're going to be at home, and I know you're going to be working and whatnot, but just try to look for exercises with 2 and 4. Just to get you familiarized. Again, this is not something you're going to remember today. It's not something you're going to remember this week, but it's something that it's good for you to start practicing and knowing the difference. But it's more of a matter of sound. Like Mariela, just now you said, I'm going to, and they said, oh no, wait. Why did you correct yourself? Because it didn't sound right. It's you say, oh no, I go to. I'm not saying I going. It's I am going or I go. So it didn't sound right to you, and that's why you corrected it. And that's what you should be doing. And this is exactly what's going to happen with 2 and 4 and has and have, and all of those things are because if you start sounding strange, you go, oh, wait a minute, nope, and then you change it. Okay? I'll let you know what we're going to do for Thursday. And if you have any questions, write, okay? Write in the group or just write me directly. Okay?
Okay.
All right, ladies. We'll see you Thursday then. I'm going to try to take this to your brother tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.